Hey everyone, so I'm so excited for today's video because it's been so highly requested by you guys. As many of you know, I've lived near Chicago for my entire life. I've always lived in the Midwest in the suburbs, and I was always that person that said, oh, I live in Chicago to other people, but now I actually live in Chicago. I moved here this year. I only live a couple blocks from Michigan Avenue, and I'm living the Chicago lifestyle. So naturally, I always get asked, where do I go? What do I do? I'm coming here this weekend. Where should I go? And I wanted to put it into video form so you guys can always come back and see what do I recommend, what should you do if you're coming here, and what should you not miss. There's so much to do here, and I know it can be hard to narrow it down. So feel free to leave your favorite places in the comments, help each other out, and without further ado, let's just get into the video. If you're traveling from out of town and you need a place to stay, my top recommendation is the Intercontinental Chicago. I partnered with IHG Hotels and Resorts to showcase why the Intercontinental has always been my only recommendation when you're visiting Chicago. Tons of my friends and family have stayed here, and every single one of them, they've all loved it. It was built in 1929, as evident by its beautiful Art Deco architecture, making it one of Chicago's genuine treasures. The Intercontinental is also the only downtown property to open directly to the Magnificent Mile. So whether you are looking for convenience for business travel or to experience a little local flavor somewhere new, the Intercontinental's prime location has it all. Personally, when I am looking for hotels in the city, I always prioritize location and then also lightness and airiness. This is truly the #1 hotel for that. It has some amazing views, and you are literally at the epicenter of every single thing in Chicago. Trust me, I've been a lot of places, and the views are unparalleled, and the photo opportunities are even better. A lot of times if you stay somewhere in the city, you get a very tiny room, and that is not the case at the Intercontinental. Another personal thing that I loved about this particular hotel room was the window in the bathroom. I love to get natural light, and it just feels like such a luxurious touch. And it's definitely something that I look for when I'm traveling anywhere. I just love the light coming through. As far as amenities go, the Intercontinental has it all. There's an excellent spa that has so many different treatments, jet lag treatments, facials, massages. They have a sauna, and then they also have a huge junior Olympic size pool built in the 1920s. It's actually on the 14th floor, which is extremely high up. I don't know if you've noticed, but most pools are not that high up in a hotel. On top of it, it was built in the 1920s, which was at the time a huge engineering feat. Another thing that I have to tell you about is that there is a free audio tour available at the hotel. So even if you're not staying there, you can go ask the concierge if you can take the audio tour. So it's completely free. You basically get to take a historical walkthrough tour of the hotel. And because this was built in the 1920s, there's a lot of secret rooms from Prohibition. There's so much stuff. It's so cool. And again, did I mention it's free? Another perk to staying at the Intercontinental Chicago that many people, I think even including people that stay there regularly, might not know about is the 32nd floor lounge. It's a completely free lounge where you can go and enjoy unparalleled views of the city. Like I said, I've lived near Chicago my entire life, and These are some of the best views that I've ever seen personally. If you don't get the same exact room that I personally stayed in, then you can go up to the 32nd floor and see a lot of the same things and capture a lot of the same photos that I did. And that is available to only people that stay at the hotel. It's truly amazing. The next thing that I absolutely recommend to every single person is to go to the Art Institute of Chicago. It is truly the #1 place, in my opinion, to go. I would go here every day if I could. I've been here so many times and I still don't think I've seen everything. It is one of the most beautiful places in Chicago. It's a great place to go if the weather's not so great. You can go any time of year and you're always going to have a good time. They have a huge collection of Monets, which is my personal favorite artist and my personal favorite paintings. They even have one of the famous water lilies. It's truly something to see. One of my recommendations is to go down to the ground floor. There's actually 2 restaurants in the Art Institute. The one on the top floor is a little bit pricier, but the one on the ground floor is actually so good. It's a little bit less expensive, a little bit less formal, and it has great food and options for everybody, no matter what diet you're on. If you're looking for scenic views, my favorite thing to do is to walk over to Ohio Street and then just take it all the way down towards the lake. There is some amazing views of Chicago.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
There's some really beautiful parks here, and it takes you out of the city for a little bit and just feels so peaceful. One attraction that's a little bit touristy, but I always recommend it to people, and honestly, I would do this every single day if I could. You're not going to see a ton of locals here, but who cares? Navy Pier is one of the best places to go. It is so much fun. It is so magical, and you get the absolute best views of Chicago from the top of the Navy Pier Ferris wheel. It is truly amazing. You honestly can fall in love with the city just by taking the Ferris wheel. There's also a lot of great restaurants on the pier, and it's just so much fun. It's definitely something you need to do once in your lifetime. Weather permitting, I always recommend people take the architectural boat tour, and there's a lot of different companies that do one. I don't really have a favorite, but you definitely get some great views of Chicago. Architecture is such a big part of Chicago, and there's so many different buildings, so many different styles. You get a lot of pictures and sights that you wouldn't normally see.
I think a fall angel just walked by.
Seeing a theater show is always on my to-do. There's always something going on in Chicago, and I recently just saw Hamilton. That's what I always recommend seeing. But if you don't want to spend the money on Hamilton tickets, there's always something else playing at any of the given theaters. But it's definitely something to look into, so I would just do a quick Google search of events going on in Chicago. Try looking up comedy shows or plays that are going on. It's so much fun, especially around Christmas time too. Of course, I have to recommend the Magnificent Mile. Again, if you stay at the Intercontinental, you're right there. I don't need to do anything else for you. You're already on the Mag Mile. And the Mag Mile is basically a famous street that is just lined with every store that you can imagine. They have Zara, Express, Under Armour, Nike, everything. They also have a Sephora and an Ulta right on the Mag Mile, and they're both really big stores with a ton of brands. I know some people will understand what I mean by that, but they're also very close to each other. They're only about 2 or 3 blocks apart from each other, which is kind of awesome because if one store doesn't have something, you can go to the other. There's a lot of great shopping as far as makeup is concerned, and again, right across from the Intercontinental is a Nordstrom, which has a Prada in it. It has high-end makeup counters, and there's also a Louis Vuitton in there. One of my personal favorite places to shop is the H&M on Michigan Avenue. It's actually 4 stories of shopping. It is definitely the biggest H&M I've ever been in, and I love it. I'm there almost every week if you watch my vlog channel, and I could spend my entire life here and my entire savings. Right across from the H&M is the Water Tower Place. The Water Tower Place is a huge indoor mall. It has amazing food. It has tons of shopping. Again, so many stores, and it's a great place to go if the weather is not the greatest. I personally love the Water Tower Place. It's so magical to me, and I spend so much time here. I always come here during Christmas time. I can't say enough good stuff about it. There's Forever 21, there's Express, there's a Bath & Body Works at the top, there's a Sephora, a Morphe store, a Riley Rose. There's so much. Also on the Mag Mile is 900 North Michigan. So this is for the people who have some extra money to spend. It's definitely highfalutin. It's expensive luxury. They have a Gucci in there. It's another indoor shopping mall. So again, a great place to go if the weather is not so great that day or if it's really cold. Finally, my favorite part, the food. So my favorite places you do have to take a quick subway ride to, but I always felt like the subway was really fun and it's really affordable as well. My first place is called the Handlebar, and they have the absolute best vegan tostadas ever. This is an all-vegetarian restaurant, and it's unique to Chicago. And then they also have a special cake of the month. It is the best vegan cake I have ever eaten. No Bones Beach Club is by far and away my favorite place in Chicago. If I had to have all of them taken away from me and I can only choose one, this would be it. It is entirely vegan, of course. I personally always order the Amaze balls, which are mac and cheese balls, and then I always get the nachos. They are the best vegan nachos that I've ever had, and trust me, I get them everywhere. Even non-vegans tend to love this place.
Hold on to you, hold on to me, hold on to something I can't see.
Another great place is called Demos Pizza. I've actually never been here in person. I always order it on Uber Eats, but they do have 2 locations. One of them is in Wrigleyville and the other is in Wicker Park, and they have excellent pizza. They have 5 different vegan pizzas. They have vegan garlic bread, and they have a vegan dessert. And they also have regular pizzas too. It's so good. I personally love the mac and cheese pizza and the barbecue chicken pizza. The Chicago Diner I always recommend. It's such a staple to Chicago, and it's a 100% vegetarian restaurant. Anything you get is going to be really good, and they have definitely the best vegan milkshakes that I've ever had. My pro tip is to go to the one that's in Logan Square. It's a little bit bigger and less cramped. This place is new to me, but I absolutely love it. It's called the Chicago House of Za, and it has vegan deep dish pizza. Yes, you heard that right. It is so good, and the garlic knots are amazing. Finally, for food, my favorite recommendation is Food Life, which is in the Water Tower place. It is so good, and it's perfect for the times where you're with people who cannot decide what they want, because this place has everything. It's kind of like a huge food hall or food court. It's so much fun, and everybody can get what they want. Finally, I have a couple hidden gems for you. So these are things that are kind of off the beaten path. You wouldn't really know about unless you spent some time here. So first is a coffee place called the Dollop Coffee Company, and it's so good. This place is always packed no matter what time of day it is. I walk by sometimes at 5 p.m. and it's just packed. But I can see why, because it's really good coffee and a great atmosphere. Another hidden gem is the Northwestern School of Law. Again, this is kind of off the beaten path. It's in a more residential area, but it is the most beautiful campus I have ever seen. I love to come over here and pretend I'm in a Legally Blonde scene. I just love it over here. It's some great photo opportunities, and it's so amazing, and there's a lot of really beautiful parks over here as well. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if you want to see more Chicago guide videos. I think it'd be really fun to do one around Christmas time, because there are so many things to do that are not necessarily the same things that you would do during the rest of the year. I'd be happy to make more. This video was so much fun to film. Don't forget to leave your favorite places in Chicago down below. Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
He was burning up, now the sun gone down. Lights in the distance, a forgotten town.